And here we go. The finale of the Stanley Parable. I won't be able to get all of this guy's little interactions because unfortunately you have to do one more after this one. But this is the one that's the most fun. Because there's just various sliders that just don't matter, but are just fun. Until you stop adjusting the slider. I like Occuboinkle more than Scrumtish. Do not adjust the slider. Yes. Is the time it is right now the correct time? Yes. What is time anyway? Yes. Yes, there are things about myself I haven't told you. Help? Yes. Yes. Ah, dang it. I have to do his last meeting thing. Okay. Um. Ah, dang it. This is going to be really short. I guess I can try to squeeze out an ending
All of his co-workers
so that this one can be a little longer.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
You know what? I'll just call this part something 0.5, because it's going to be
Stanley
extra
came
short.
to a set of 2 open doors. He entered the door on his left.
In the game again. I'm going to do a bucket one. I'm going to pick up my dreaded enemy, the bucket.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had...
I'll go with the most unique bucket ending.
Telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Good,
said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Because with this, with all the other endings, it's just that the dialogue is adjusted to be bucket-centric instead of about Stanley. So like the ending where you unplug the phone is just a matter of, why are you taking the bucket so seriously? The bucket's actually controlling you. You answer the phone, it's the bucket talking to you. If you die, it's about how the bucket lured you to your death. The vent. If you when you unplug the phone, and then he's talking about making bucket jokes, and when you're above Stanley, instead of him being like, please make a choice, he's just making bucket puns over and over again. The death in the escape ending, it's just a bucket memoriam, and then you have to grab the bucket floating at the top of the ceiling to restart the thing instead of flipping the switch, and then you still have to reset the game anyway. Detonating the control room, getting free with your bucket, the adventure line, everything with a bucket is literally just exactly the same. It's just bucket-centric dialogue.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was
but the red and blue room is the only one, apparently,
buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose
that has a different ending if you're with the bucket.
The bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
And as you can see, danger, danger everywhere.
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a
No
sign
buckets.
right there. It says, no buckets past this point. Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless... What if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it.
Because this way you don't get the sad red door ending or the blue door endings.
If not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
Oh, entirely new path. Okay, yeah, this is entirely new. I'm just gonna call this the bucket episode. Is this a bucket?
I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket?
No.
Correct. It is a
What?
hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Okay, I don't know how I could have known that.
Item 2. Is this a bucket?
Is the joke that they're not, that none of them are buckets?
Correct. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
So it's not made of metal, it's made of plastic, or it just has no hole?
Item 3. Is this a bucket?
Rule of 3, so that has to be yes.
Correct. This is a bucket.
Oh my god, how could I have known that?
Item 4. Is this a bucket?
That's a tractor.
Correct. This is a tractor and not a bucket. To be honest, I just sort of put this one in here as a gimme, but I was starting to get concerned that even this might be too much for you. Thank you for not making me look like an idiot. Okay, next one. Is this a bucket?
Okay, as the last one wasn't, rule of funny, this one has to be.
Correct. This is a bucket.
How is... Okay, fine. Rule of funny.
Item 6. Is this a bucket?
No.
Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
How is it both and there's not a both answer option? That's mean.
Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere.
Okay, so is this a bucket? Is this room a bucket? Yes.
Okay, you and I both know there isn't anything here. And I don't appreciate the implication that nothing is a bucket when we both clearly know that a bucket is something, and therefore nothing could possibly be something. Unless, in your twisted mind, have you somehow convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing?
I said that it was a bucket.
Stanley, do you believe that nothing is a bucket?
No.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket? Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely. Okay, here we go. What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket? Oh my God, I had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person. All right, here we go.
Okay. So yes, I'm going to upload this episode as the bucket, as the Stanley Parable full game overview part bucket, and that will be the gimmick for that one. All right, time to exit, close, and then do the epilogue. Sorry that one was so short. I thought that I would be doing that one a little differently, but it turns out I was wrong. Thank you, and I will catch you in a minute.